All people should follow these rules for modern dating. Without being honest at the beginning of a relationship, we do it a huge disservice. Sarah Lou thinks about how empowering it can be to be real. Do you know how the first 3 years of a relationship are usually sexier, juicier, and more fun? You don't know each other very well yet, so you're putting forward your most charming, easygoing selves. So far as they know, you don't have any underwear that isn't lacy thongs, and you don't have period-stained cotton boy briefs. There's no need to talk about money, kids, or how to fold that underwear just yet. You flirt, you laugh, and you are spontaneous. You're late for work because you slept over the night before and wore the same clothes both days. Using your finger to brush your teeth, washing your underwear in the sink, and drying them with a hand blower. Those first few months are the best. Everyone around you knows you're seeing someone because you're so happy, and isn't happiness the goal of a relationship? Well, what if the goal isn't to be happy forever? Because a problem is around the corner, and everyone knows it. Sooner or later, you must get real. At the beginning of relationships, people put out an image of themselves that isn't real or fits with who they are. This is usually done to get love, approval, and appreciation. We all act like that. It's easy to see why, since being honest and disagreeable can be scary. How can you be sure that someone won't reject you if you show yourself to them? We are so vulnerable to being turned down. Have you ever wondered why? From a cultural point of view, the United States is very sensitive and quick to offend, be offended, and judge. I know for when I feel most vulnerable to rejection is when I'm trying hard to please. I'm out of my comfort zone because I'm trying to guess what my partner wants. If I can guess and give him what he wants, I'll be more attractive as a mate, which will secure my status. All that matters is safety. Getting safety from them. Do you know where that leads? Codependency. I can't feel safe unless they love me. Loves, that's a hard way to get to sexy polarity, empowerment, and independence. Yes, feeling safe on the inside is the most important thing for a relationship to last, but is being a chameleon safer than, say, figuring out what I want? Wouldn't it be safer for me to go with my gut and do the things that make me feel happy and alive? When I'm trying to please other people and when I'm trying to please myself, my body has a different energetic blueprint. At first, it feels good to please someone else, but in the long run, it makes me nervous, jumpy, and quick to react because I'm waiting for the rejection I fear will come. Robert Anton Wilson says that the proverb proves what the seeker looks for. I know how compelling it is for some of us to acquiesce our truth to avoid conflict. I had to find out the hard way. I mean, I was raised in the Midwest. But discovering my autonomy, embracing negotiation and conflict, and following my wants, needs, and desires feels fertile, authentic, resilient, vital. I'm conscious of my body and my pussy, less susceptible to judgment. I've never felt more like myself than I do now. Authentic relationships are possible when you both know what you have to offer and what your partner has to offer. Then, you can work together to make something beautiful. Authenticity requires a deep exploration of what it means to ask for permission. What would it look like if you took good care of yourself? What do you want from the people you love? How important is it to you to negotiate for yourself? How do you avoid trouble and give up on yourself? If you let it, cultural conditioning will sweep you up like a flood. Most of our ancestors were not perfect, ladies and gentlemen. Most of them weren't even mammals, man. Don't try to be the perfect boyfriend or girlfriend. If you do, you'll be building a house of cards that will fall. How can you have hard conversations in the future if you can't be honest and real now? All that matters is that you are experiencing integrity and congruence inside yourself. You know what that feels like. You don't think much about it. You may know who you are on the inside, but do you also know how to show that from your cervix on out? When you learn to navigate your life in this way, especially at the beginning of a relationship when the foundations are being laid. You can set yourself up for a long-term, loving, sexy, and truthful journey. Because you won't be living lies, you'll be able to get through the hard times with honesty and grace. It's not rocket science to know how to act on a date, but rules can help. Friends, you should learn how to act better. You shouldn't ignore these rules of modern dating. Even just 5 years ago, dating was a lot different than it is now. Modern dating can be hard to figure out, especially when it comes to how to text and when to get close. Think of these 10 rules of modern dating as a sort of roadmap that will help you reach your goal of a happy, healthy relationship more quickly. 1. Make sure you have cleaned out your emotional closets before you try to bring someone else into your life. Nothing kills a relationship faster than trying to find love when you're already hurting. 2. If you like someone, you should ask them out. We give too much importance to things that just don't matter. It doesn't matter if you wait for them to come to you or if you go to them first. Life gives good things to brave and independent people. 3. Be you. Leave your representative at home on your date. Too often, we put on a front on a date because we are afraid of making a bad impression or them not liking us. By being real, you let them know you as a whole person, not just the parts you want to show. 4. Don't use your words as weapons. There are no rules about how or when to get in touch with someone after a date. Reach out if you want to say thanks or that you liked the time you spent together. Don't wait to talk to someone or follow up until a certain amount of time has passed to play a game or get the upper hand in some other way. 5. Being rude is not hot. Even though it's important to talk to people openly, that doesn't mean you should send them 8 messages for their one. Nothing is worse than having a bunch of messages waiting for you before you can even answer one. 6. Put money into yourself. Too often, when we make a new friend, we let that person take over our lives. We stop going to see our friends and doing other things that keep our foundation strong. You need to have a life outside of a relationship that is all your own and gives you support. 7. It's great to have Facebook friends. It's not cool to stalk someone on their Facebook page or Instagram, for that matter. I understand the desire to get to know someone better, especially at the start of a relationship. But stalking a possible date on social media is the creepiest thing you can do. It's much more fun to slowly get to know someone and let them be mysterious than to read all of their Facebook statuses updates from the last 5 years. 8. Don't get sexual. Even though this might not seem very modern, it can be if you look at it in light of current trends. Now, more relationships start with what used to be one-night stands, which means that sex came first. Even though there is nothing wrong with this in and of itself, things get more complicated when we add the hormone rush that comes with physical intimacy, which can sometimes make it hard to see clearly. This can make us more likely to make decisions based on our natural chemical reactions instead of our true potential. 9. Date for fun, not for the place you're going. Even though marriage and kids are just as much a modern idea as they were in the past, you shouldn't treat every date as if it were an interview for a life partner. Having a sense of how big the journey is right now is just as important as having an idea of where it might lead. This makes dating much more fun, relaxed, and enjoyable. 10. First and foremost, respect yourself. In the end, the word rules makes it sound like there is only one right way to date, which is something I don't agree with. In the end, the only surefire way to have a good dating experience is to do what you think is right for you at any given time. Take a moment to stop and get your bearings so you can hear what your body and your inner guidance system are telling you. Trust that inner voice and know that it will be your best friend when it comes to making relationships that last.